Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good morning, Wildcats. We hope you all had a great weekend. Today is the first day of March, meaning it's the start of Women's History Month. Stay tuned to hear more about this special month and an important message from our principal. Today is Monday, March 1st. I'm your host, Isabella Rietta, and West Ranch TV starts now.
Comes and goes.
The Viking Wellness Center is offering a 3-day resilience retreat and workshop. You will walk away with a better understanding of how to create a natural feeling of safety within your mind and body. If you are interested in participating, check the bulletin for more info. March is dedicated to learning more about the accomplishments of women throughout history. Let's take a look at the importance of Women's History Month.
Celebrated since 1987, the month of March marks Women's History Month in the United States. This month highlights women's contributions to history, culture, and society. In February 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8, 1980 as National Women's History Week. Historical figures like Mary Curie, Sojourner Truth, Amelia Earhart, and Rosa Parks are acknowledged nationwide, but some names you may not recognize are women like Grace Hopper, a mathematician and rear admiral in the U.S. Navy who paved way in computer programming and technology. Anna Julia Cooper was an American author and activist who championed education for African Americans and women. And Sylvia Rivera, a Latina American transgender activist who was an LGBTQ civil rights pioneer. Still to this day, women like Vice President Kamala Harris also inspire and give hope to women that they can accomplish great things. To learn more stories and countless amazing women, visit websites like womenshistory.si.edu and womenshistorymonth.gov. From West Ranch TV, this has been Erin Hobb reporting.
Throughout the month, West Ranch TV will bring you stories of strong women and their accomplishments. There will be a spring blood drive open to West Ranch students 16 or older and their families. It will take place tomorrow, March 2nd from 12 to 5 p.m. at St. Stephen's Church in Newhall. Please check the daily bulletin for the attached flyer for directions and details. With the possibilities of schools reopening soon, it's important to remember that things will look different than what we're used to. Let's take a look at how a hybrid setting would look.
After being in distance learning for almost a year, many students here at West Ranch are hoping to be able to return back to school. For months, the school has been working to allow students to come back on campus through a blended learning format.
When we do open back up in the blended or hybrid, it means we have some kids coming onto campus and some kids still learning from home, all happening at the same time.
As a COVID precaution, the school is limiting the number of students that can gather on campus all at once.
The kids that come onto campus are split up into two cohorts, A and B. A through K is going in cohort A. L through Z go to cohort B. You'll have about 40% of our students will not be on campus at all. We've set up the classrooms to only have so many seats available, and so your classes may only have 10 kids in a class.
West Ranch is also taking various other safety precautions like daily check-ins and much more to ensure students' safety.
Any place there can be a line, you'll see on the floor there's social distancing markers. We've talked to the teachers about making sure that all students exit a class before anyone enters. It's all about social distancing, and yes, everyone will have to be wearing masks while they're here.
The schedules for distance learning and blended learning will look very similar for students.
Cohort A will come onto campus a couple days for their 6 classes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then cohort B will come on for 2 days in a row.
West Ranch faculty is hoping that blended learning will help those who have been struggling throughout this pandemic.
And you're able to meet with your teacher in person is a lot, in my mind, much more beneficial, but also getting to see your peers and your friends and emotionally to kind of feel as part of more of a community.
As blended learning becomes more of a possibility, Westrange staff wants to remind students that their comfort and safety is still their number one priority.
Someone in your household or even you yourself have a compromised immune system or anything like that for medical reasons, you need to stay home. My advice would be to do that. But, think about the decision, weigh the pros and cons of, coming back onto campus. We care about you. We'd love to see you on campus. So hopefully everyone just hang in there. We'll be able to open soon with a vaccine coming out. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep the faith and keep working hard.
Hopefully the number of COVID cases continues to decrease so we can return back to school. From Westrange TV, this has been Malia Pittman reporting.
Thank you, Malia. I'm excited to hopefully be back at school in the hybrid setting. Now let's take it out to Kaitlyn with a weekend update. Kaitlyn?
Good morning, Cats, and welcome to your weekly recap. Former President Trump returns to the spotlight with a speech for the Conservative Political Action Conference held in Florida. The speech will reportedly focus heavily on criticizing President Biden. On Sunday, Iran's foreign ministry said the country will not participate in an informal meeting with the United States and European powers to discuss reviving the nuclear deal. A White House spokesperson said the U.S. will consult with the other countries that signed with the nuclear deal to determine the best way to move forward. In Myanmar, at least 11 people have been killed during nationwide anti-coup protests, marking the deadliest day since the demonstrations began earlier this month. Deaths were reported in multiple cities where police allegedly fired live rounds, rubber bullets, and tear gas. The first Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine doses could reach vaccination sites as early as Tuesday. About 3.9 million doses have been shipped, and 16 million more will be sent out by the end of March. New studies say that the U.S. life expectancy has dropped a year and is at its lowest since World War II. In lighter news, the 78th Golden Globe Awards are now airing live on NBC. The ceremony will be virtual with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler hosting. NASA's Perseverance rover released new images from Mars. A quantum computer just solved a decades-old problem 3 million times faster than a classical computer. And lastly, Lady Gaga's 2 French bulldogs, which were stolen by thieves who shot and wounded their walker, were recovered unharmed this Friday. The woman who dropped off the dogs appears to be uninvolved and unassociated with Wednesday night's attack. That's all from me. Happy Pisces season and have a great rest of the day.
Good to know that Lady Gaga's dogs were returned safely. That's all we have for today's show. Tune in tomorrow to learn about what our coding club has been up to during distance learning. I'm your host, Isabella Rietta. Have a great day, Cats.